So if you know about your weak part, so you will improve rapidly. And I think most of the people in India, they're really good at their communication skills and speaking. But one thing they are not really sure about, like they don't have any idea how to work on their weak part. They are not really aware about the weak part. Yeah, it
Oh,
happens, I think, a lot on Skype.
going. How are you?
Yeah, please. I did not get you. Can you repeat it again?
I said, how's it going? How are you?
Yeah. Okay. So to be honestly, I am not feeling good because I have been suffering from diarrhea for few days. So that is the reason I am feeling little bit groggy. Apart from that, I'm little bit excited to talk to you. And I want to tell you one thing. I visited your website and it was beautiful. Like I read the feedback over there, and you are an online tutor. So it is my fortune that I am going to speak with you. So,
Very much for your kind words. Okay, so you
okay.
might be exhausted a little bit because you are
Mhm.
suffering from diarrhea, which cause loss of energy, and you feel a little bit nauseous as well. So it would be a little bit harder for you, right?
Yeah. And before speaking with you, I was sleeping, but at 12 p.m., I just woke up. I took a shower, and now I'm speaking with you. So I'm feeling good right now. So I'm not feeling like I'm having any kind of a diarrhea.
Okay, good to hear that. So tell me
Okay.
about yourself a little bit, then I will go on to talk about myself.
Okay. So, speaking about myself, my name is Ajay Kumar Yadav, and I'm speaking you from Dehradun district of Uttarakhand state. And speaking about my educational qualifications, I have completed my graduation degree in the stream chemistry, botany, and zoology from SGRPG College, Dehradun. And I'm not working professional. And these days, I'm trying to brush up my communication skills. Thank you.
Oh, that's cool. You have done quite good things in your life. Yeah, yeah. So you are brushing off your speaking skills and communication skills, and these are one of the things that get you good job, that land you good job in big multinational company, right? Not just your technical skills or whatever you know and whatever you have been taught in your skills, right?
Yeah, absolutely right, I think. And I completely concur with your thought. And mostly it happens, I think, we all have been taught about, hard skills. But when it comes to soft skills, we don't really have any kind of idea. And no one teaches, but we learn when we become mature. Okay, so I would love to know about you a bit. So it would be
Yeah,
better for me.
to talk about myself. So my name is Shahid Obeid. I'm from Uttar Pradesh. I'm a mechanical engineer working as a mechanical design engineer as a freelancer. And I'm also a part-time online English tutor. Yeah, that's all about me. And let me talk about my English journey. So I also started to improve my English when I felt like uh, it's essential to get a good job in a company when I completed my graduation in 2018. And at that time I got a job. It was not my dream job, and I worked in that job I think for 1.5 year. And then I realized I was stagnant, I was not going anywhere. And then pandemic struck. We were confined in our home, we had a lot of times to do stuff. So then I decided to improve my English, and I doubled down on it. I improved my vocabulary, communication skills, and speaking skills, and build build confidence in my ability to communicate.
Mm. That's really good, I think. And there, I think it is very important. Like if I talk about lexical resources, or if I talk about confidence, and confidence is the most important thing when it comes to communicate with another person. So I want to know about your tutoring journey. Like how long have you been teaching in English, and how was your experience?
So it's been almost 1 year having created my website and started doing it. So it all started when I started to have a lot of free time. So 1 year ago, I did not have a lot of clients as a freelancer to work. So I
Mhm.
thought, why should not I, use my these skills to like communication skill and English speaking skills to help English learners improve their English speaking skills at the most affordable prices. So that's when I started doing it.
Mm. Okay, so that's lovely. I think you have been teaching in English for a year. And I think in my personal experience, if you have a mentor, so you learn faster. Because when I started my English journey, I did not have anyone. So I was doing the practice in a wrong way. I was
Yeah.
putting a lot of efforts to speak with another person. I was using many application, and I had friends, and at that time I did not know anything like, okay, how can I learn the language? Okay, I want to learn the vocab and I have to repeat that vocab again and again, and I do not have to learn so many words. One word is also really enough if I can inculcate that word while speaking with another person. And everything will be really easy for you if you have a mentor. He or she can tell you, okay, you can just work on this thing, it is your weakest past, and you can, so if you know about your weak part, so you will improve rapidly. And I think most of the people in India, they're really good at their communication skills and speaking, but one thing they are not really sure about, like they don't have any idea how to work on their weak part. They are not really aware about the weak part. So if they will, know about the weak part, if they work on that, if they reinforce that part, so they will become very good, I think, in my opinion. So you are doing a wonderful job. You're providing them a platform so they can enhance. So it's very good. Like I'm very happy, and like I have a great reverence towards online tutors, and towards those tutors who has a passion towards teaching.
Yeah. Thank you. And I think you just spoke my words. I also think speaking with free partners on social media or with your friends or family member is not really productive because a lot of time either they overcorrect you, which like make you feel a little bit less confidence in your ability, or they completely ignore giving any constructive feedback, which makes you completely ignorance of your weaknesses and where you are lacking and all that. So it is very important to speak with tutors or experts. And to be honest, I don't consider myself an expert in this field. I'm a self proclaimed English tutor, but I do think and I have helped a lot of students, yeah, improve their speaking skills and build confidence.
Mm. And I think, like one most important thing I have observed, it is like there's so many people, and they're ready to demotivate us. They say that you cannot learn the language. Okay, you do not, you have a grammatical knowledge, but when you start speaking in English, so you are making mistakes. So you should not speak incorrect English. You should speak correct English. When I was on my journey, so 2 years back, 2 years ago, my friend told me, Ajay, if you speak like that, so you are not going to become a good speaker. So do not speak with me in correct English, speak with me in correct English. And I was a beginner at that time, so how could I speak in a correct way first? At that time I was practicing with him, and I gave up because I did not have a guidance, and I was being demotivated by him. So it happens, I think, most of the times. And if I talk about you, you are providing a safe environment, so they can share their like weakness, they can share their problems with you. and you can tell them, okay, you can work like that. Okay, it is really okay if you make any kind of a mistakes in terms of pronunciation, in terms of any kind of a grammatical mistake. So it's a very good thing. And okay, what do you think about the safe environment? Do you think like it is very important for learners?
Why not? But first of all, I would like to, say something about you said like people demotivate you if you make any mistakes. Okay, so
Mhm.
this is true. I also wanted to talk about it. So the people whom you practice with on social media and your friends and your family members, actually they tend to not sympathize with with
Mhm.
you. Like if you make any mistake, they are going to demotivate you and they are going to say a lot of things in a really like a bad way, which makes you like give up on your dream to become
Mhm.
fluent in English. Whereas tutors and experts are trained to give feedback in a way that it corrects their mistakes, it corrects learners' mistakes, but at the same time, they are not made feel like they are inadequate or they will not be able to improve their English or something. So this is also one of benefits of practicing with tutors or experts, right?
Yeah,
And
that's very
yeah,
good.
speaking of like safe environment, can you elaborate on that? What do you mean by safe environment?
Safe environment, I want to tell you, like, most of the times if you practice with your friends, or if I talk about you practice with the person on social media, so they talk about politics or sometimes religious things, and they're really absorbed in their thoughts. They want to learn the language, but they want to discuss some different topics and
Yeah,
some history topics, and I don't think like you can learn the language by discussing about this topic. They want to increase their knowledge. The intention is good, but somehow like they don't really have a proper idea. Like if you want to speak with another person, if you want to practice with that another person, so you have to put yourself into in that person's shoes. You have to know, okay, this person is interested to talk about this topic. Okay, he's not really interested to talk about this topic. So this kind of a thing. Safe environment means like a person can do practice, like
yeah,
where he or she does not feel any kind of a like inconvenience to share anything. They're really comfortable with the tutor or anyone.
yeah. Here, the safe environment is synonymous with comfort zone, which is not good for you you know, to stay in,
Mhm.
because if you are going to master anything, whether it is a language or any kind of skills, you have to go out of your comfort zone and do something significant, like something out of extraordinary. And you are right, when you are practicing with people on social media, they are just interested in learning about things. And a lot of time, when they ask you some questions and you describe it, you answer it, and if you speak slowly or take time to process it, they are going to cut you off and they start speaking
Mhm.
themselves. And and it causes a lot of bad habits in yourself, because
Mhm.
like you are given to speak faster, in every situation,
Mhm.
because you have been practicing with someone who wanted you to speak fast, so you build this habit to speak faster. And when you speak faster, you have to use a lot of filler words. You are not able to think good content to talk about. And there are a lot of bad habits that comes with speaking fast and all that. So I would say safe environment is not good for you. If you want to master in this skill, go on to talk with someone who is really willing to ask different question, who is willing to listen to you patiently, and who is also willing to correct you whenever you make mistakes, and vice versa. So safe environment is not good for you to speak and practice your speaking skills, I would say, right?
But don't you? don't you think like when a person starts speaking in English, so they need that kind of a comfort zone so that they can start, so they can elevate their level for like 10% and 20% initially for 30 days or maybe 60 days. So because I have seen multiple people and especially housewives, so they are not really comfortable when it comes to interact with meals or when it comes to interact with another person. They're really
Yeah.
happy in their comfort zone. So for if I want to talk about those people, so they need a comfort zone, I think, initially. After that they can move on, and surely they are going to realize, like if they will stay in the comfort zone, so they are not going to improve. Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of obvious that you have to do it. You are bound to practice with people in your ability, and you have to be in your like comfort zone and safe environment to do that initially. But the problem with people is that they stay in the same zone. They don't try to go above and beyond, and that is what I'm talking about. And
Yeah, yeah,
would you mind if I correct something? And you
yeah,
can
yeah,
too, actually. So you
yeah, yeah.
said
Please go ahead. Yeah.
you said when it comes to interact with people, when it comes to talk with people, you said something like that. So actually, we use ing form after the phrase when it comes to. So you have to say when it comes to interacting with people, when it comes to talking with people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So if we are using a verb after when it comes to, we have to use ing form. And if we are using a noun after the phrase when it comes to, it's just noun. Like when it comes to like school, when it comes to college, we have to do something like that. But when we are using a verb after that phrase, we are supposed to use ing form.
Okay, I have not aware about this grammatical fact. So thank you so much for correcting me. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, I
And
have a. So please go on, please.
yeah, go on, you.
No, no, first you because I interrupted you. Please.
uh, if you find any mistakes or error in my sentences, you are allowed to correct it. In fact, you are mandated. I have given you this like chance to do it.
Yeah.
I have given it right. It's your right. Okay.
Okay, thank you so much. But if right now, like if speaking about myself, so I was not paying attention towards the grammatical portions. I was just closely paying attention towards your thought because I really want to learn from you. So that's the thing. Okay, I have a question for you because you have been teaching in English for a year. So tell me, like, how do you correct your student if they make any kind of mistakes in terms of pronunciation? And I think it is very tough part. For example, if I talk about, there is a very simple word. It's in Hindi. It's called like baatcheet. In English, we say like some people pronounce like that conversation, and it's incorrect. But if I talk about the correct pronunciation, so there are two ways to pronounce this word. If I go with the American pronunciation, so it's like conversation. Or if I talk about the British pronunciation, so it's like conversation. So they both are really different if I talk about British or if I talk about American. So or like if I talk about Indian people, so they don't really follow it. They are really happy with their Indian accent. But I think we should, correct our pronunciation because we are learning the language. So we can learn from them because they are that is their language. So how do you correct them? Do you teach them do you teach them American pronunciation or do you teach them British?
To be honest, I'm not fan of like either British accent or American accent, and I don't even care if a person is speaking in British accent or American American accent. The problem is when people speak, mispronounce words. That time
Mhm,
only I tend to correct them. So
mhm,
you are allowed to pronounce words in any accent, American accent or British accent. It's okay. I think we all pronounce words mixedly. we pronounce some words in American accent, we pronounce some words in British accent, but you just are not allowed to mispronounce words.
Hmm.
So whenever a learner is mispronouncing a word, then only I tend to you know correct it. Otherwise, it's okay. It's your choice in
Yeah,
which
I'm
accent.
not. Thank you so much. I'm not talking about the accent. I'm just talking about the pronunciation because I know like about the difference between pronunciation and accent, but
I
only the pronunciation. Yeah.
I
So my
just
question was, yes. So sorry, please.
I think I mixed up uh, pronunciation with accent. So I meant to say accent. Okay, I think I
Oh,
mixed it up with accent. Yeah. So would you like me to answer it again, or you
yeah,
got it?
yeah, yeah, yeah. I want to
So,
know about the pronunciation, not accents.
okay.
Pronunciation, I'm telling you. And there's
Actually,
so many words. I think. Yeah, please.
I do not correct people when they are pronouncing words, like either they are pronouncing in British English or in American English. I only tend to correct their pronunciation when they are just mispronouncing it.
Okay, okay,
So
okay. Yeah.
yeah. So you are allowed to, actually we are all speaking in mixed
Mm.
pronunciations. We pronounce some words in British English, we pronounce some words in American English. So I think it's kind of okay. But if a learner is mispronouncing a word, then only I tend to correct it.
That's good. That's lovely, I think. And yeah, that is the right method, I think, because if I talk about correct pronunciation, so it is really difficult to master every pronunciation. And I think it is really okay, like if you mispronounce few words, I think. If you are able to express your views, so I think this should be the first goal, I think, in my opinion.
Yeah,
So
and there was
after that, yeah, please.
yeah. You also asked a question about like how do I teach people? How do I correct their mistakes? Then you went on to talk about pronunciation part. So let me answer that first, okay? So the way I teach them is very straightforward, just like Cambly and Clubingo. I provide them with topics before session, and like every topic covers different, every note cover covers different topics containing pertinent vocabularies, example paragraphs, so that they will have idea and content about how to speak about a certain topics. And whenever a learner is a little bit able in English, then I tend to ask question naturally off the cuff. So when they are speaking with me in session, I just ask question and they have to speak non-stop. And if I notice any mistakes, whether it is grammatical mistakes or like vocabulary wise or pronunciation mistakes, I try to pick their mistakes out and correct them in a constructive way, not like in a rude way or something.
You are not allowed to speak in a rude way if you are a tutor.
And
Okay, one thing also is coming in my mind. When you take sessions, so how do you make them interesting? For example, do you crack jokes also? Because it's really important because you cannot do the serious conversation, in my opinion. It becomes boring.
let me talk about my personality. So I'm kind of
Mm.
an introverted person.
Oh.
So I'm
Mm.
not so lively or given to make given to be humorous with people. I'm not that. But yeah, I try to make conversation engaging and interacting by asking interesting questions. And when I get to know them by asking their hobbies and their interest and all that, I try to ask something which make them uh, what do we say, which make them happy to talk about things.
Mm.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So
yeah, I get
I
it.
wish I was human and extroverted, but I'm not.
I think you do not have to be really humorous, like when it comes to crack jokes. And I think you should be really comfortable with your personality. And as you mentioned, you are
Yeah,
an introvert person. So if I talk about myself, I am the biggest introvert on this earth. But I try to come out from my comfort zone. I read something whenever I see someone. So like I try to talk a lot. I just try to imitate sometimes, but yeah. um, so it this kind of a things, if you do that, so somehow you will become little bit humorous, I think. But yeah, I think it is not necessary, because
yeah,
if I talk about the students, so they come over there to learn from you, so it is not really mandatory. Yeah.
yeah.
Okay,
That's
so
right.
I want to ask, like, so it is more than 20 minutes. If you want to ask any kind of a questions to me, so you can ask.
I don't have any question, but I would like to say something about yourself. You are really a good English speaker. You are so calm and composed, and the way you are speaking slowly, slowly, it's so interesting, I think. And I will never be bored talking with person like you, because they are willing to listen to me. They are asking a lot of questions, but I think I must ask a question. Let me try to come up with something. Try to come up with something. Yeah. So tell me about your hobbies and interests.
Okay, like this is a very common question, I think. So
Yeah.
speaking about my interest, as I mentioned few minutes ago, I am an introvert person, but I am an extrovert person if I know that person. So I have lots of questions, lots of question to ask. And I am an inquisitive person. I want to know about another person opinions. What is there? Sorry, if I talk about politics, if I talk about religious point of view, if I know, because I feel very safe with that person, because he or she knows about me, so I can ask any other question. So in my leisure time, I call one of my friends and I talk about anything. For example, and I do time pass, or I love to watch movies. I used to be a movie person, but now I'm not. I watched plethora of movies, like there are many genre I explored when it comes to, like, if I talk about the Korean cinema or Chinese cinema or Assamese cinema. So nowadays I'm not watching it, but this kind of a things I do. And nowadays, if I talk about, so I like to listen to people. So whenever I get free time, I go on YouTube. I listen to any conversation. Or yesterday, I downloaded one application. Um, and it is a audio podcast platform. Name I'm not remembering right now. So I listen few speaker over there. I try to learn from them.
Yeah. And also one of the good thing about you is you don't just answer the question, you also talk about things which are relevant to that. And that is the problem with a lot of people nowadays. So whenever they are asked a question, they just, you know, answer it directly in few words. Like if someone you know ask someone, tell me about your hobbies or talk about your interest, they are just going to talk about their interest and in few words, and then they are done. But what they can do is to improve their speaking skills, talk about some relevant things like you talked about it right now. You talk about your hobbies, then uh, you also talked about the things you did recently, which is relevant to your interest and all that. So I think I'm also learning that I want to be able
Okay.
to talk about things longer. Okay. And
Mhm.
I would want to correct one thing here again. You said
Please, yeah.
I'm also an extrovert. Sorry, I'm also an extrovert person. Did not you?
Okay.
So, so
Yeah. Hmm.
extrovert is a noun, and we can say I'm a extrovert. But if you are trying to use person, then you have to say I'm a extroverted person, because
Oh.
extroverted is an adjective,
Mm-hmm.
extrovert is a noun. So we cannot use
Mm-hmm.
two noun together, like I'm an extrovert person. So it would be correct, right?
Thank you so much. I did not pay attention when I was saying about this thing. So thank you so much for correcting me. And so sorry, like I did not pay attention, and I do not have a like that much grammar knowledge so that I can tell you like, okay, Shahid, you are making that much mistake. But
Actually, I think
yeah.
you are already great. You are doing great. The way you are talking is, I think, is top notch level. Even professors are able to do that. Yeah, I think in my perspective. Yesterday, I talked to a English teacher, and she was like not even near you. She was
Oh,
a government English teacher. She was teaching English to students, but she was not that great. She was making a lot of mistakes, grammatical mistakes and error. So I think that's great. Yeah. So let
okay.
me talk
So
about. So I would like to, we would like to call it a day by saying one thing. My tutoring service is the most affordable ever. It is like 10 session of 20 minutes in just 500 rupees. And it is cheap not because I provide bad quality of service. It is cheap because I don't have to pay tax. I don't have to, put money on marketing or advertising. And I also don't have to pay money to other tutors and pocket the, benefits. So that's why it's cheap. So if you know anyone who is wanting to improve, who is needing to improve his speaking skills, you can, reference me, okay?
yeah, surely I will do that, and I will upload this video on my YouTube channel. So surely after watching the video, people are just going to contact you. And I think I don't know about the people. I think sometimes they are perplexed and they don't have any idea like where should they go. But surely, like if there is some kind of a serious learner and of he or she must be watching this video right now, so surely they will contact you. And you are doing a wonderful job, in my opinion. And keep doing the good work. And I will meet you again. So thank you so much for giving your valuable time, and next time we will talk about something
Yeah.
like some other topic. So it would be really beneficial for both of us. Thank you so much and take care.
Thank you. Thank you. Bye. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye.